it's already started. But the conversation starts in the car, where it's like, what do you think is your biggest asset for your team? How do you think you're going to contribute that? What are 2 things that you're going to contribute? You can't give me more than 2. What are 2 things you're going to do really well today? And when they say something big like rebounds, because I've got big kids, I was like, okay, but what about rebounds?
This is Coach to Coach, where we talk junior basketball coaching in a relaxed, practical way. I'm Jace, and these are your fast break chats. Let's get into it. I am very pleased to have a interstate guest. That's my first interstate guest. That's so cool. I'm very pleased to have with me this evening Amanda Hodgson. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
We have met or connected via the ever powerful internet and found common ground in conversations. So we thought definitely worthwhile getting some content down and bring some thoughts on the game. Amanda is actually a person of many talents. She has 2 high performance athletes in a couple of New South Wales teams. I don't know the New South Wales team, so I'm not even going to try and remember which team it is.
It's fine.
But they're in Melbourne for the Nunawading tournament. So
we've come home.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
You're a Spectre.
I'm a Spectre.
That's so cool.
I'm a spook. Through and through. I think I might bleed red and blue if you cut me open.
We're not going to do that.
Don't tell Hills Hornets that. They'll be like, you're ours now.
It is a fairly insular sport.
It is, yeah. I mean, one of the things that I love about our club in New South is it reminded me so much of Spectres. Like when I walked in, I was like, oh, this is the vibe and this is the stadium and this is... Yeah. So,
and that's the thing, isn't it? Like I realised just the other day how often I was in Nunawading. I'm just like, this feels like just another home for me. It's awesome.
I still do that. Lucan played his grand final at the Nunna tournament last year there.
Yeah.
And as soon as you walk in the door...
It's home.
I felt like looking around. I was like, I'm home, everybody. And thank God I saw Flinny and Sarah because I was like, oh, my God, yes, thank God. But, it was beautiful.
Love it. Well, welcome to Melbourne. I'm glad to have you here. This is, we've got some good stuff to cover off tonight. Let's smash through the Fast Five.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. How long have you been coaching? Tricky question, I realise.
It is a tricky question. I've been doing what I've been doing online consistently probably for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Since the boys really started getting into basketball.
Yep. All right. And are there any teams that you're currently coaching with?
No.
Right.
Short answer.
Yes, good answer. Because, I mean,
not.
really,
I don't have any time and I don't want to coach my kids. So there's,
I get asked at least.
I get asked a lot, but I'm like, no.
Yeah. But what you're doing is able to provide a broader coaching.
I did feel some guilt for a while thinking I'm not giving back to the sport that gave so much to me. But I think I found a way to do that and feel proud of it.
Absolutely. Why do you coach? Oh, that's a tricky one.
Not so much. I realised early on that the conversations I was having in the car with my kids was really beneficial and useful, particularly from such a young age.
Yep.
And I was like, how do I give this to other people? Like parents who have never played a sport or don't know what they're doing or don't know how to build relationships with coaches. Like, how do I give this to other people? Because I can't just keep it to myself, and that it grew from there. Yeah,
I love that. I think the reason that aligns with me so well is that's exactly the reason my podcast has come about. It was like I was having conversations with other young coaches or experienced coaches when I started, and I was like, these conversations are awesome. I'm getting so much out of them. Why wouldn't I share them? There's surely other people in my situation. And there is.
Well, and as you're in the car driving, you're like, how many parents are driving home from the game with their kids right now?
Yeah.
Either not knowing what to do or dare I say, doing it the wrong way.
Yep.
And I can get in the kids' ear or the parents' ear and they can have access to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there someone who had an influence on how you coach the game?
Look, I do. I value that question because that's numerous. I always say to people, I am who I am and I was the player I was. I know who I am today based on the good and terrible coaches I had.
Yep, I've heard that.
Like who I was in adversity for, not terrible, I was really lucky I didn't have terrible coaches. Who I was for a coach that really was hard on me.
Yeah, okay.
tells me a lot about myself because I'm the player that's like, I'll show you and go and like, I wouldn't crumble. I'm like, why was I like that? But it's grown into who I am today. I've also had great relationships and success with coaches who were really kind and nice. And so it's like, well, what's the difference there?
Yeah,
and how do I grow from that? And how do I? But the answer to that is everything I've learned in my later years, which is like you talk to people how they want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the way you communicate with people isn't about you. It's about how they're going to hear it best.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm happen to have a really great mentor in my adult life who's now my best friend. And she does big things with businesses in America. And she's my constant confidant and mentor, and we have that relationship ongoing.
That's magnificent.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite professional player?
That's really hard. I mean, at the moment I'm watching Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd and all the wonderful rookies that are coming out of college. They're pretty insane. The boys and I are pretty into Wemby. I've got 2 kids, so that's hard to ignore.
So I shouldn't ask you who you think's going to win the...
No, absolutely not. My husband's going for Knicks,
Yeah,
and the rest of our family's going going for Spurs. So, yeah, look, the reason I like those players, though, it's not that I don't let my kids watch the NBA. I just don't love it for what it teaches them. So, you know, March Madness, we're in lockdown, we watch college sport or WNBA because those players within those leagues do the 1%ers or the hard workers that I want my kids to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think that's what a lot of people put that hesitation up in terms of watching NBA is that the showiness is glorified and the kids love seeing that.
Can't stand it. If I see one more head fake in a junior game, I will lose my tiny mind. I'm probably going to say some truths here that people are like, oh, I didn't know she was that passionate about that. But there's lots going on that I'm like, if that was my child.
Yeah, look, I think that unfortunately there's probably a good percentage of kids that could use a little bit of a reality dose.
Yeah. I was joking with someone yesterday who coaches out at Frankston, and I was like, I keep joking that I want to go around to every team at our club and other clubs and actually do the penalties because I don't think my kids have heard get on the baseline enough.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think it's happened.
Yep.
You know, the dreaded words that I used to hate.
Yeah.
I'll get to the sideline or get on the baseline. I'm like, my kids need to hear that more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, I think that, well, that sort of circles around to one of the things that we wanted to cover off tonight. We had a bit of a pre-chat about things and, you know, somebody with your breadth of experience and somebody with me, like myself, who's so interested in learning and understanding so many facets of the game. We could sit here and talk basketball for hours.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Absolutely hours. So I was like, right, how do we hone this down?
Yeah.
And where we landed was communication. And there's a number of different sort of arms to that consideration. Let's get you to explain what you kind of are aiming to achieve with the content that you put out, because I think that loops into, you know, the second subject I want to cover off.
I mean, to your point, there are so many arms to it, but the basic foundation of it, which is why I can create content easily and in the moment, is what do I have that I want to give other people?
Yep. And
how do I help parents support their kids without losing their relationship with their kids? Like, how do they build that together? Like, I'm so proud of what I've built with my kids together with them, and not saying that I did it for them. You know, they do the work, but for them to be open to getting in the car and having a conversation, but still having a cuddle at night. And you know, the reason I don't want to coach my kids is I nag them to pick their socks up and put the washing in the laundry. Like, they don't also want to hear me say, hey, here's how you perfect your jump shot. Like, I put people in their life to give them the skills in the right way that they need on the court.
Yeah, of course.
But if I can support parents to help support their highly ambitious kids without losing their relationship, and that's key. It's probably more focused on kids who want to be high performers, because my kids genuinely love that.
Yep.
Because we're their parents, and I see that being so lost in the stadiums. Like, there's a lot of it around.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had the long drives home after games, and I have some conversation with my son, but I'd love for it to be better.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's where that's where I was coming around to, was that's the second thing, is that, you know, what sort of conversations can we have?
I've been having the exact same conversation with my kids since they were 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
I've got 3 questions I ask them before and after every game.
All right. So let's launch into that.
Right.
we'll come back to the communication side of things,
Yeah.
which is when I said there was earlier arms of that, there's communication channels or conduits between players and coaches, players and parents, parents and coaches.
Yeah, I mean,
So we'll go to there. But for now, let's talk about the drive home.
Well, first there's the drive to.
Okay, good point.
So, like any good morning routine, it starts the night before. But that's not to say I start this the night before. They're at home being kids because I'm already prepping them with food and hydration, and it's already started. But the conversation starts in the car where it's like, what do you think is your biggest asset for your team? How do you think you're going to contribute that? What are 2 things that you're going to contribute? You can't give me more than 2. What are 2 things you're going to do really well today? And when they say something big like rebounds, because I've got big kids, I was like, okay, but what about rebounds? Like, what do you have to do specifically to get a good rebound? Obviously, that's find my player, box out, move back. Just go over those little things they have to do to cement them in their body so they become second nature when they're playing. And then it's those 2 things become the things that if the game isn't going well for them, their interpretation of, because I'm not out there going, you're fine, or like it's in the moment, if they feel like things aren't going their way, just hone in on those 2 things. That's all you have to focus on. That's it. And whatever your coach tells you. It's you and your coach at that point. Yeah. But if you're trying to find your way back into the game, those 2 things will get you reconnected. And always, baseline for us is you are high-fiving every teammate on everything, and you're lifting someone else up when you feel down.
Yep. I can see. I had never even thought about that, but there is so much good to come from pre-game conversation.
Well, if I go out and play a basketball game, right, if you think about that and you're watching your kids, the amount of decisions and things they have to make in a singular there are so many things going on. Where's your player? What's my spacing? Where's the basket? When's it being shot? So for us to be like, go out and play well, like it's just, even if you're trying to be the nicest parent in the world and you're like, as long as you're happy, I don't care. Kids can't do anything with that. That's not, you actually need to give them some direction, I believe.
But the next layer of that is you actually said, you asked them. You didn't tell them.
No, never.
You didn't say, go out and play a good game. If you really wanted to be as vague as that, a better option might even be, how are you going to play a good game?
Yeah.
That would then offer a layer of them thinking about what can they bring to the game.
Yeah. But because I was so young, I had to really narrow it down to those, like, give me 2 things. And they were learning to play at the time. It's not like they knew how to play. These questions started so they've evolved a little bit now, but that's the core of it. And sometimes we have different things we're working on. Like, I have very sweet-natured big boys. So I'm like, I was a bit of a rough nut when I played. You're going to need to find some aggression from like, bump that kid when he comes through the key. You can't just keep being nice to everybody. So it's not always a skill as in a fundamental physical skill.
Yeah.
It's like you've got to be aware of what's around you. And when that kid bumps you, don't wait till the 5th time to get pissed off. Like, you got to turn that on quicker. So then if they get to the 3rd or 4th time, they're like, oh, this is when mum told me it's too much. Like, and not that, that's another side comment here is like, I am not to be in your head when you're playing. It's your own voice.
Yeah.
Your teammates and your coach. That's it. I should not be in your head.
Yep.
So I'm teaching them with these questions to have independent thinking on the court and to be able to make decisions that they can back up. Because when they come off the court, I'm never like, you dickhead. Like,
But that adds a beautiful layer of accountability.
Yeah, well, I can't be on the court with them.
No.
I can't have little earpieces in their ear telling them, as a lot of parents would love.
Oh my God, imagine that.
But I don't want that for my kids.
No,
I want them to have this independent thinking and then take that out into the world. I mean, we're raising humans, not just athletes.
Correct.
So be able to I've watched my kids be able to navigate things and make decisions. And my 11-year-old very recently, this also teaches them to self-assess. So very recently self-assessed something for the first time in the car with me. And it was a moment that happened and I didn't make a big deal of it. And I just was like, I didn't even say I'm proud of you because it was just something that I want him to develop over time.
Yes. So did you acknowledge it?
Yeah, I think I acknowledged it in a way of telling him it was really accurate and consistent and then where we moved on from there.
Yeah.
He's like, he recognised how he played for one team and he said, I want to be able to bring that to my rep team because I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, okay.
And I said, that is really great self-awareness. So I acknowledged that.
Yes.
And I said to him, you're bottom age in a top age team, so it makes sense that it's taken time. However, now that you've unlocked that, let's go. Like you have access to that now, right? Like you can do that whenever you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, so It's not an overly complicated conversation on the drive there.
It's super simple.
Well, because at the
Because
end of
I
the
don't
day-
overcomplicate it. It's not about me.
Well, yeah, that's right. And also, you don't need them going into the game going, now, Mum
Oh my
told me
God,
this and
so
Mum told me
many
that and
things.
told me this.
Yeah.
No, I need to remember that. 2 things.
2 things. And
That's
we
it.
literally talk about it and then it's done. It's not me going, you sure you remember them? And what was the other thing? Like they say it and it's in them and
Yeah.
we trust and it's done.
Yeah.
And the questions on the way home are the opposite to those. What did you do well?
Yeah, okay.
What's something you could have been better at? And how do we need to focus on that at training this week? What can I do for you that will help you improve that this week? Or what does your coach need? Who do you need? And they're the questions I've been taught. Who do you need to help you with that? Is it me? Is it your coach? Is it a teammate? Like, what is it? Because sometimes it's like, I feel like my teammate doesn't trust me. I'm like, okay, well, how do we solutionize that?
Yep. Yeah, okay. I've never had a conversation with Zave on the drive home that is that specific.
I feel like people steer away from it thinking it's so intense. But I found in the dancing around it, it actually makes it worse.
Absolutely.
Because what they're interpreting in their mind, what I learned really early on, I am a big facial expression person. If anyone sees me in a stadium, I have what I am thinking written all over my face. I think I've gotten better at it. So at one point, I had a girlfriend from across the stadium message me and be like, you need to change your face. And I said to him, mate, when you look at me, do you think I'm disappointed? He's like, yeah, all the time. I was like, what?
Oh, dear.
That's not what I'm thinking. So we had to have these conversations because he was interpreting what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Because what I was thinking was like, oh, he worked on that during the week. He just missed it. I'm disappointed for him.
Yes.
But not at him.
No.
So it grew from there.
Yeah.
Understanding that he was actually looking at me interpreting disappointment when that was the last thing I felt. And if we weren't having those conversations, I never would have found that out.
Yeah.
And I never would have been able to get more specific with them about, we're doing this because you told me that you have these goals and this is what you want.
Which is that accountability factor.
And because our family has committed a ton of money and time into you doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't need to feel bad about that.
Yeah.
But if we're going to do it, we're sure as heck going to do it properly.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that is a really important lesson that the kids can learn for much more than basketball.
Look, we've had the advantage of having a pretty significant life event that has made me understand that my kids are capable of getting through a lot. So they're very resilient.
Yep.
They're very capable of understanding really big life things and processing them with my help.
Yeah, of course.
So when I can apply to basketball, I'm like, well, that's not that hard. It's just basketball's just sport, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm not scared of breaking my children through a conversation. I'm growing them.
And I think that's one thing that needs to be acknowledged is that sometimes as the parents, we have to have these hard conversations.
Yeah.
And they will feel uncomfortable. But the only thing that comes from them is growth.
Well, and then as my kids get older, I realize that having those conversations actually also means that when something happens at school or in life, it's not left of field of me to sit in the car with them and be like, so, hey, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I've opened the door to us having this communication already.
Yeah.
And I don't know that will always stay. They're still quite young. They're 14 and 11.
Yeah,
But the foundation is set.
absolutely. And I'm a firm believer of foundational investment.
And I think that's something I learned from my parents. It was always the tough conversations, and we were having conversations that my other friends weren't having with their parents. Or I would be like at a party and they'd be like, oh, my parents don't even know where I am. I'm like, what? What do you mean? How cool? And then I'd be like, oh, no, thank God my parents are my parents.
Absolutely. So I guess then what are your thoughts on those communication channels that I mentioned before? You've got player, coach, parent, coach. So parent, player.
Yeah.
So we've sort of covered off the parent
player
angle. Do you think there's good conversations to be had between parents and coaches?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we live in a world where I found at school and at basketball, there seems to be this trend where coaches are unapproachable. And I'm like, hold on, you're helping raise my children. So I know how much my coaches impacted me when I was playing. So to think, and my dad was always my team manager, so I knew that he was involved. So it's wildly inappropriate and unreasonable to think that I will never have a conversation with you about my son.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I set the precedent real early. And it's different with ages. But generally at the start of every season, I will go to the coaches and say, listen, I do a ton of work with my kids outside of here. We do extra training. I need to make sure that's aligned with what you need from them to give to the team as a whole. What do you see their growth this year? What do you want to see them get better at? Where do you want to use them quickly? Because I can speed that up. And I'll go work on that. but I need to make sure it's congruent with you. And that leads to a conversation of me saying, like, that's giving them the vibe of, like, I'm not working against you. I'm not waiting to tell you my kid doesn't get enough core time. I don't really care about any of that. I want to know that my kid's getting developed the right way, and I'm working with you to do that. And then the younger ages, if things aren't going well, I'll revisit that conversation. But at my older son's age, which is 14, but he's playing bottom age in a top age 16 JPL side in New South. So they're playing is that championship here? What's it called?
That's VC.
VC. So that's led to me now saying to him, I can't go up to your coach anymore, mate. I'll still have that initial conversation. And his coach is great and has said something that he wants from him to develop. But whenever he has been unhappy about something or he feels like he can contribute more, I'm like, this is now a conversation with you and your coach. When are you going to do that? And then you and I will talk about that afterwards. If you want me to be there, I can, because he's 14 and he gets nervous.
Yes.
However, in under 16s, this is something you need to develop, because you also are starting to play at a state level, camps, go away, things like that. You need to be able to build the confidence to be able to have, like, when he was 12 and went away for the first time with Basketball New South Wales, I was having a conversation with him in the car on the way to the airport to drop him off, that I wouldn't see him until, like, they stayed together, they flew together. We saw them for 10 minutes after a game. He's 12. My basketball head, I was like, this is so exciting. And then I immediately was like, hang on, am I supposed to just hand you over? He's like, you just said how exciting it was. I was like, yeah, that was me, player me. That wasn't.
Yeah, wow.
The conversation was, this is your first experience at a mutual beneficial relationship. So while you're with adults and you think that you just need to respect them and listen, yes, you need to have that coach respect. However, they also need you to play well. So if you feel like you need something to play well, whether that's a phone call home to me, more food, more sleep, whatever, time out. You don't need to hang around the boys all the time. You need to tell them and ask them to provide that for you. And now whether he would or not, that was just a conversation I'm having from that age because it's necessary and he doesn't have access to me. And he handled that whole week really well. I mean, he's got super supportive coaches and it's a great system and I couldn't love it better. But so in returning to their rep coaches, they're the conversations I have. And if it gets to a point, and this has happened a couple of times in the season, where I'm actually not worried, but I have some questions about the development that I'm not happy with, I will have those conversations. Or I will go to mentors or influencers around us and say, hey, this is what is happening. This is what I'm thinking. Am I being over the top? Or what should I say to them to get the most out of it? Or what should we just go away and work on? So last year it was something like Lucan was getting played from the 3-point line a lot and he's big and he just couldn't find his way. And I'm like, if this keeps going and he goes down to 16s next year and doesn't know how to do a post move, how does that, because he's going to be used as a 5 if he keeps growing. So I was looking ahead as a player, understanding where the game was leading. So I was panicking and I was like, this is not okay. If this goes for the whole season, this kid's not going to know how to do anything next year and people are going to expect a lot from him. And so I talked to someone I trust. He helped me with that. And then I went to, I don't know if I even ended up going to the coach. I went to Lucan and then things just kind of organically changed and the offense changed because it wasn't working. But it gave me peace of mind where I was like, okay, bigger picture. And that's actually a really good point. I'm thinking 2 years down the track always, like 1 to 2 years down the track. And that helps not panic in the moment.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it sort of recenters you, doesn't it? It's like,
but I do really think parents have to have an open relationship with a coach, again, depending on age. But I just don't see the point of getting through a whole season, getting to the end and being like, oh, we didn't get what we want this year, so we'll just wait for next year. I'm not about that. I'm like, no, we have goals and dreams and that I'm not wasting 6 months.
It's absolutely...
And it doesn't have to be horrible.
No.
It has to be a respectful conversation, even with a coach you don't respect. Your kid has to be coached under them for the rest of the season, so you have to make it work.
Absolutely.
So it has to be in a way where that's the only time I'll step in and put my foot down. If my kid's being disrespected, I've also had that conversation with them. Yeah, there's a coach riding you. There's a coach being hard on you. I would like you to run lines until you throw up because I'm old school. But they start disrespecting you and I've got a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's...
Or not communicating. If there's lack of communication with a junior athlete, that's a red flag. I'm a Taurian Italian. That is a red flag for me to be like, hang on. The whole point of this is to develop these children.
Yeah.
If there's no communication, and I'm going to the effort to communicate with my kids, you can do the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't let my 14 and 11-year-old figure out why they're sitting on the end of the bench or why... Or even no feedback, right? Like, say my kids have a great game or I see a couple of things. I'm like, what'd your coach say? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
I mean, again, my kids have been very lucky with coaches.
But it's a hugely important
feedback is huge for development.
Yeah, because I reckon I've seen my 17s at the end of a game. Now, we're not super serious. Yeah. But I have their attention. They're waiting for something.
And kids are, if you look at them, they're like, well, I don't know. And if they're not, you're not doing your job properly. They're not engaged properly.
No, but you're right, though. That's the thing, that they are waiting for it unless you've...
Oh, they didn't see my face. I was like, they're like, looking at you was my face of anticipation. Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like, if they're not keen to hear your thoughts at the end of the game, you've dropped the ball.
You've lost them. Yeah.
That's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, they're just going through the motions of what they already know, right? But again, it's different. So different for everybody. If your kids are just like, my nephew plays for fun. So if he's just turning up, he still likes feedback though, because he likes to feel like he's playing well.
Yeah.
So the feedback for someone who's playing for fun and likes to be good at basketball and contribute is different for the feedback of someone who's like, I want to play NBL or go to college or go to the AIS. Like they're different. They're two different things, but still equally as important for teenagers.
I was going to say, but regardless of the level that the player is at, the feedback is still required, delivered 100%. In a different mess.
There is nothing worse than an echo chamber, whether that's between you and your parent, you and your own mindset, you and something else. Like get out, if that's your little set, like get out of your echo chamber and get people in your life who are going to influence your kid in a good way.
The other thing that I think is really important is that if you're not sure how to have those conversations, find a mentor or just somebody to practice on. Yeah. Like just find somebody who's safe but maybe not relevant and have those conversations. But I think
that's the whole beautiful thing about the sport world. Like you can't tell me you walk into a stadium and there's not someone there that's got something you need.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Like whether it's a chippy or a mentor for your mindset, like there's someone in that stadium that can help you with what you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have built a community around us that when I don't know how to do it, I absolutely have someone to go to.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if it's just because I'm like, my kids just don't want to hear my voice anymore. You know, like, because that happens. We don't live in a perfect house where we're all like singing Kumbaya. We're not like the Von Trapp family of basketball. Like, we have our down moments, but it's because I'm not the constant. Yeah. I'm the constant in presence.
Yeah.
But I will not be the only voice in their mind.
That's key.
Yeah.
That's key. You're a voice.
Yeah.
A consistent voice, but maybe not a constant voice in that basketball space.
I'm not the one telling them every aspect of basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Amanda, this has honestly been one of my
Thank you.
most enjoyable conversations because I'm a big fan of communication, leadership, guidance, mentoring and having the opportunity to influence people in a positive way. So this has been exactly my kind.
I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing. Good luck for the tournament.
Thank you. I'll pretty much be, in cars on roads in Melbourne between now and Sunday nights.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
All right. Thanks very much, man.
All right. Thank you.
That's it for today's Fast Break chat on Coach to Coach. Thanks for listening. I'm Jace, and I'll catch you next time.